Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Tool Time with Professor Levy. Today we are going to take a quick trip around the shop again and the other spaces inside of our theater because we haven't done that yet. So I'm going to show you where a bunch of our electrics positions are and the catwalks and the light booth. Here we are in the scene shop facing the loading door onto the stage. If I turn to my right, we see the man door and the loading door onto the loading dock. Here we have our work tables. Continuing around is dust collection, our radio, the table saw, chop saw, lumber storage above it, air compressor in the corner. We're a bit of a mess right now because we're loading in a show, but here is our thick sheet goods rack. Continuing around, we're on the back side of our thin sheet goods rack. So the thick sheet goods rack takes 3/4 plywood and 1/2 inch plywood. The thin rack takes 1/4 inch Luan and 1/4 inch plywood. On the back side of this, I have our featherboard storage, our sign-in sheet for classes, for stagecraft and shop workers. Panning around to the paint sink and fire cabinet. Here are the stairs up to the costume shop. And then we'll just take a wander around. That pipe was a vent hood for a spray booth. And doors out into the hall. If we walk through the loading door onto the stage, here we are, stage left of our main stage theater. The black you're seeing are the legs and the mid-stage traveler. There's the mid-stage traveler. We have some electrics in currently. Downstage left here against the proscenium, we have the stage management station, which also controls our rigging system, our automated rigging system. To the right of that controller is the wireless microphone receivers for all of our wireless headsets. Beside these racks is the entrance into our tool room. In here, obviously, is where I store all of the tools that we use in the shop. Backing back out of the tool room, on the left and right side of the proscenium are these ladders that go up to our box boom positions. Here we are up in the stage left box boom. This is where we store a bunch of lighting instruments and cable. We here have more cable racks, and over here to our left is the actual box boom position that we hang lights off of. Okay, here we are back on the ground and wandering downstage. We have another box boom position that is stage right. You can see there where the camera is. We'll actually go up there in a minute, but this is the lighting control room where we control the shows. As we walk upstage, you can see that there is the door to the crossover. This gets us from stage right to left or stage left to right. In here we store boom pipe, gel, lighting fixture components in the file cabinets, and some assorted platforms and flats and a bit of steel. Walking back out onto the stage, we have a ship's ladder here that goes up to on top of the crossover. Here we are getting to the top of the ladder, and we are on top of the crossover. Up here, we often will put the band for a musical. We also store a bit of scenery from past shows up here, and you can see the grid very well from up here. We can also get up onto the catwalks from up here via this ladder. Here we are getting to the top of our ladder onto the catwalks. We store rope up here. There's also the motor control power for the line sets up here. We have a catwalk mid-stage that goes all the way across to stage right. As we're walking back, we're moving towards the back of the house. Up here you can see the top of our acoustic clouds. We're storing lighting instruments up here as well. Normally, when we were in a show, they would be populating these pipes underneath this black raceway, is what it's called, with the dimmer numbers on it. And this also exists on our second catwalk, which is just a bit further away from the stage. We have a raceway with dimmer numbers on it. As we head across the catwalk, we are now center stage, and you can see the windows to the control room between the acoustic clouds. That white rectangle beside the camera is where our big main projector is shot from. This is how the lighting instruments are hung from the catwalk here. Here we have a par. And here's another par. This black box with the Cat5 or Ethernet cable coming out of it is our gateway that controls the universes for DMX addressing of the intelligent lights that we've been talking about in class. And then as we continue across, we are now house left or stage right. And we find another set of stairs that leads us up to the third floor. And here we are coming into the control room, which is also my office. Here you can see the large format printer that I use to print my construction draftings. Here we have the Carbonite controller, which allows us to do video switching. Our ClearCom system for communication. We have a KeyPro system for recording shows. Here we have covered up our lighting console, the EOS TI. It's about as brand new and expensive of a light board as you can get. To the right of that is the control for our cameras. More switching for signal interface, and our sound console. And lastly, my desk. Thank you for watching this episode of Tool Time with Professor Levy. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something about our setup here at the theater.